Hello friends, in this video I'm going to tell you what is a domain name, right? Domain name is basically a unique address of a website. Whenever a user wants to open a website, then that particular user needs to enter the domain name in the URL bar of a browser and just simply press enter, and that particular website would appear in front of that user, right? So as you can see, this is the GoDaddy.com, right? And if I want to open the Facebook, then I will simply enter the domain name facebook.com and I will click on enter, and Facebook appears in front of me. Similarly, if I go for the Google, then again it's a domain name and Google website appears in front of me, right? Let me show you one more thing. For example, I type this, right? And this is basically a IP address, right? It is a IP address of a website. Let me tell you this here. Okay, this is particular a IP address, and when I click on enter, what opened? It's google.com, right? So let me tell you, basically in tradition, in past, people used to open websites using IP addresses. Each and every website have their own IP addresses, and users open the website in past using those IP addresses. But now, remembering those IP addresses, for example this, is quite hard. For example, if you open like 5 to 7 websites regularly, then you can't remember these numbers, right? So these IP addresses got replaced by domain name. Now you need not to remember these IP addresses. You simply types like amazon.com and press enter, and Amazon website appears in front of you, right? So basically these IP addresses got replaced with domain name, and now we are just using domain name to open a website. So you can understand in such a manner that domain name is a address of a website, right? Now what is domain name server? Domain name server is basically a mediator in between the IP address and the domain name. For example, if you search for amazon.com, right, then you have entered the amazon.com domain name and you have simply clicked on enter in the URL bar, and Amazon website appears in front of you. How so? Because you entered the domain name, and domain name server is the you can say mediator, right? It have stored the amazon.com website's IP address. So whenever user types a domain name and clicks on enter, it automatically matches the domain name with the IP address and opens that particular IP address in front of user. So domain name, you can call it as a mediator in between domain name, and a domain name server you can call it as a mediator in between domain name and IP addresses. Whenever a user enters the domain name, it automatically connects that domain name with the IP address, because it is a record book which have all the records of like what domain name belongs to what IP address. So it opens that particular IP address automatically in front of you. It is just similar to your contacts. Like in phone, if you want to call me, you will not type my mobile number each and every time, right? You will save my mobile number in your contact list, and whenever you want to call me, you will simply search for my contact name and you will click on call. So you need not to enter the mobile number again and again, because you have assigned a name to my contact number. In the same way, like domain name is assigned to a IP address in domain name server. So whenever a person opens that domain name, automatically that IP address gets opened, right? Now let me tell you one more thing. For example, if I talk about this particular google.com, right? So as you can see, it's www.google.com. Now this particular www, what it is a subdomain, right? And this particular Google, we call it as a primary domain, And what is .com? It is top level domain, right? Domain name is divided into three parts. The first one is subdomain, the www, and this particular is called as primary domain, and this .com is known as top level domain. Now top level domain itself have many types. For example, I just want to purchase a domain name Bikana basket. So I have searched for this domain name on GoDaddy and it is showing me that this domain name is available. Nobody have bought this domain, right? Let me tell you one more thing. Like if you have purchased a domain, nobody else can purchase that same domain until and unless you sell that domain name or that domain name gets expired. Like you need to pay a regular fees for acquiring that particular domain. After a certain period you need to get that particular domain renewal, right? You need to pay the renewal fees of that domain name. Either you can purchase it for 1 year or like 3-year term or whatever. You can't keep that domain name for permanent, right? You need to pay the renewal fees after a certain time, right? So here you can see that bikanerbasket.co.in, right? bikanerbaskets.com, .shop, .store, .club. These all are top level domains, right? But let me tell you, like people usually have the habit of opening .com, right? So what does .com means? .com shows that it is a commercial website, and if you go for like .in, right, .in top level domain, then it represents that website belongs to India. If you purchase .us, then .us belongs to United States, .uk belongs to United Kingdom, .pk belongs to Pakistan, right? Similarly, .edu belongs to educational website, .gov belongs to government website, .ai belongs to artificial intelligence website. So there are many top level domains available, right? But people usually have the habit of opening .com domain, right? So if you are planning to buy a domain name, then I would suggest you to give priority to .com domain, right? So this is all about domain name. If you want to learn digital marketing course in detail, then kindly check out our video description. I have mentioned my website link over there. Just simply visit to our website, explore our digital marketing course, and you can purchase the course from there. Thank you so much.
If you want to learn digital marketing for free, then subscribe Digital Bikana YouTube channel right now.